I ran a 36-hour Pathfinder First Edition session. I was in high school. It was a sleepover at a friend's house. We were all very caffeinated, and it was easily the 5th stupidest thing I've ever done. Pathfinder was already the planned main event. I showed up at 10 a.m. We immediately retreated to the basement, and I started session zeroing, describing a mountain port village for airships. Wait, mountain port? Oh my god. No, it can't be there. No, you don't think that's copyrighted. Anyway. Mountain Port Village for airships. While the players made level 15 characters for an epic voyage. 2 hours later, we start introducing characters. 6 hours after that, the players have successfully stolen an airship, shot down several Sky Navy ships, and I started to get ready to prep for the next morning session. "We're not done yet," said the host. The next 24 hours were me flipping through every random encounter table I owned, throwing out random encounters, choking down cold pizza and warm energy drinks, and occasionally hiding in the bathroom while the party played out, keeping watch in almost real time, as in literally sleeping in shifts to keep playing. I still thank the traffic gods my dad showed up on time at 10 p.m. the next day to pick me up. Otherwise, I fear I'd still be in that basement.
No, please! I didn't mean to! You betrayed me. You betrayed this family. On the day of my daughter's wedding, no less. Please, Godfather, show mercy. Your punishment. You will play Pathfinder.
Oh, I love Pathfinder. I mean, I could definitely run a Pathfinder game. I'm not too experienced in the system, but I mean...
You'll be playing for 36 straight hours.
Will I have a module? Will I have time to prep?
No! You will use nothing but random encounter tables.
No, not the random encounter tables. Yeah. Godfather, please.
And you'll be stuck in that smelly basement for every second of it.
Godfather, wait. No! Godfather, no, please. Don't do this. Yeah, I don't understand how anyone has fun playing any TTRPG for more than, 5 hours. There's a certain point where I just get tired. 36 hours? I think the U.S. Constitution calls that cruel and unusual punishment. Not really a horror story, but still, wow. At school, we had a little group of kids that played D&D. One girl, we'll call her Lex, not her real name, had never played D&D before. She just said that she had her character art and liked role-playing and was denying help, saying she got it when clearly she didn't. Kind of a red flag. We wanted experienced players. What sucked really bad was I knew 4 other people who had a character ready and had experience. She was taking up space, as there was a limit to how many people were allowed. Lex is my girlfriend's best friend. We never connected, and I don't think it helped that she is very Christian and I am not. I'm not an atheist or a Satanist. What the? Okay, I wasn't asking. I'm just something else. Anyway, the end of school comes around, and at that point, we end up combining the 2 parties we had due to people leaving. We end up leaving our original story as we knew we wouldn't be able to finish it, and the DM decided to wing a short little mission. It was weirdly Christian-coded. Christian-coated? It was coded in Christians? Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, Lex was a huge supporter of this and was kind of influencing the DM. It was basically us recreating parts of the Bible. Skip to when we had to choose between 2 fruits. It was basically either eat this pear or this apple. One will let you continue and the other will do something else. I don't remember. The others, and eventually me, realized this was similar to Eve and the fruit of knowledge. Is it though? I mean... the apple I get, but there's no pear involved. Actually. Hey, God!
Yo, what's up, man?
Is this too Christian for you?
No.
Cool, I'll go inside. I got you. I tried hinting that I was uncomfortable with how Christian this was. The only one that got my hints was my Satanist twin, who was also uncomfortable but wasn't playing. She was just watching. Does everyone have to choose a fruit? No, just one of you does. And me, tired of all this, immediately said, "'Cause I'm not doing it." I then just started bluntly saying that I was uncomfortable. Why is this campaign so Christian-coated? Oh, again, they did it again! They did it
Get
again!
away with it!
I'm sorry, but you saying these things and choosing not to participate is offending me. That's what Lex said. Excuse me? Oh, by the way, no one else was offended. They were fine with me not doing anything. The DM was even saying he would change it, so it wasn't uncomfortable for me. Also, Little Miss Sunshine over here knows my religion. She is very aware of my past and why I don't like these types of things. Doesn't stop her from offending me, though. Did she really think I was going to participate? Luckily, it ended, and I still hate her because of this and for other things she's done to me and my girlfriend. Oh, and I forgot to add this. I think this didn't have to happen. She said this in a weird way, kind of implying that I was offending her by being uncomfortable and unhappy. Also, when I started bluntly saying things... Okay, buddy. What things? What things were said? I guess you could be bluntly saying, hey, this is kind of weird, I don't like this. Or you could also be bluntly saying, you disgusting, gross heretic, I hate you, slut. Also, I could be wrong on some details as this was like 3, maybe 4 months ago, and I haven't read the Bible. And, oh, I don't know, 6 years. I posted this to see if I should take this off my list of reasons to hate her. I also want to know if I'm a bad person here. If so, I'll be quick to change. I'm going to doubt that, considering at the very top of this post, it says something along the lines of, no more harassing me, I'm gonna delete this. When the vast majority of comments are in fact people being pretty darn respectable, considering how this guy treated his girlfriend's best friend. Now, let me make this clear. The best friend could be some weird, overly religious weirdo who's trying to convert other people to her religion and use DnD to proselytize, and yeah, that would be bad. Very not good. But like, the example doesn't really sound that Christian. It's choosing between 2 fruits. The initial red flag of her not having a character ready could be legitimate, but why bring up that she has character art and likes role-playing? Are those the primary reasons? Because those aren't red flags. Also, this writer hates this girl and is not making it sound very reasonable at all. I mean, good lord. I mean, seriously, even from this guy's point of view, they do not sound wonderful. God, I feel like my DM's world building is turning into a straight up mess. It's been a pain to navigate, but it doesn't need to be like this. If only there was a way for her to just keep stuff more organized. Thank God she found WorldAnvil. This week's videos are sponsored by WorldAnvil. If somehow you haven't heard of them, WorldAnvil is an incredible world-building website for any writer or game master looking to take their world building to the next level. If you guys are unaware, I've been working on getting all of my world lore written out, and after a few months I realized that I exceeded the potential of Google Docs, but WorldAnvil came in clutch. I can create wiki-style articles from all of the aspects of my world, like characters or locations. I can link them all inside of a map and create links between the articles for easy navigation. It's not just for the background world-building aspects either. If you want to run games in WorldAnvil, you totally can. There are 45 plus supported systems, including D&D 5th edition, and the most extensive character management you can find on the player's end. You've got character sheets, journals, inventory management, spell books. It is straight up perfect for organizing a campaign. If you guys are interested, then you can head down into the description down below or to the pinned comment, or use the promo code on screen so you can get a big ol' 51% discount at WorldAnvil. As always, supporting our sponsors does support us. Thank you so much to WorldAnvil for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, I'm going to turn back into an animated rat so that we can get back to the video. I'll keep things fairly vague, mostly due to how exceptionally specific the setting and character stuff is. Also, the specifics of class/player character species matter little anyway. This campaign had 6 players and a DM, but only 3 players, me included, really matter in the story. So there's me, the DM, the problem player, who I'll call Cat, and the problem player's sibling. The campaign starts fairly well. We do have a session 0 and fairly few chats before the game even started, so there's no issue. Kat's sibling is the one who suggested inviting Kat to the game since Kat really wanted to play a TTRPG for once. Cool. New players are fine. We've all been one at some point. Playing with an experienced group is good, so all of our characters are together and work in the same military organization. We all know each other because of that, and my character and Kat's character have something in common. They're both non-humans and trans and live in a primarily human and human-adjacent populated country. Something to help them bond at some point. The campaign goes for a fair few sessions, but I notice Cat isn't really participating at all. That's fine. It's hard for new players to get into the swing of things, and compared to the rest of the party, they aren't the strongest in combat. Cat really wanted a bird companion and didn't really know how to use it, but the DM was willing to help Cat out with that. Eventually, the ship we're on crashes for reasons, and we end up stranded on an island. The boat is totaled, so the DM asks us what we want to do. All of us say what? Engineer's gonna engineer, scientists are gonna science on the weird animals, I'm gonna do logistics, and Cat has no clue. It's like Volo in Baldur's Gate 3. You know, the end of the world is nigh, we've got all these legendary heroes, and then this idiot with a book. Not hating, I like him, it's just, bro, what are you doing here? The DM points out that maybe, with some engineer help, Cat can get the communication stuff on the boat again. Cat responds with, but my character doesn't know how to do that. That'd be fine, except Cat's character was our high-up communications officer and was the highest rank one that survived the crash. Cat's character would know how to do that. Instead, Cat just wanted to look at the burbs on the island. Weird, but alright, fine. I try to do some roleplay with Cat with the things that we have in common, but little happens. I end up mostly doing things with Cat's sibling, who is similarly playing a non-human. It was all just mostly due to Cat not paying attention. There's a lot of that. A lot of Cat not paying attention. Sessions will go where Cat will do nothing, say nothing, and even when prompted by the DM and the players, won't do much. There's a few times where the DM will ask for saving throws from everyone, and will say Cat's name several times. Sometimes, Cat's sibling has to directly tell Cat to pay attention. It's a little annoying. You know what I do when that happens? Yeah, Jimsim, you took 57 points of fire damage.
What? Are you kidding me? I didn't even get a saving throw. How was I supposed to know? I mean, this is completely unfair. 57 points of damage? I mean...
Flashback.
Okay, she's casting a 5th level fireball. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw? Laura, can you make me a dexterity saving throw? Dexterity saving throw. Hello, fire, coming in. Dexterity saving! Whatever, inattentive players aren't the worst thing, and everyone else is engaged, though at this point, one of the starting 6 players has dropped out for unrelated reasons. But that's fine. We continue along with our adventure, doing tasks here and there and comforting folks. Cat rarely does anything at all in and out of combat. It's a little bit disheartening since it's not like we weren't trying to engage her. Cat just doesn't do much at all. Strong bird obsession though. Okay, yeah. Bird obsession. But does she know about the Siamese fireback? Which was not the vibe the character initially had at creation at all. Oh well, strange but annoying. Though, as time goes, Cat does start doing things. Unfortunately, everything Cat decides to do spontaneously ends up being weird, or disruptive, or both. I have no problem with silly things in games, granted, or playing silly characters even in more serious campaigns. Levity is a good thing, even when a character is mostly serving. That isn't inherently bad, but Cat only ever decided to do things that way. The rest of us were being fairly serious, mostly, and this was billed as a serious game in Session 0. Cat decides to hug someone that's a bit of a minor antagonist, now ally, out of the blue, which was a little weird and uncomfortable, but that's not too bad. The DM took it in stride, and it offered character stuff to play off of. Yeah, I was about to say, hugging the big bad evil guy, that's a valid technique for victory, okay? I mean, as long as you look like Jester, voiced by Laura Bailey.
Thank you so much.
Later, we go and visit an island of bird folks, which goes weirdly. Not in general, just like how Cat reacts. Cat immediately starts asking the bird folks all sorts of questions. Mildly invasive ones, like if any of them are roseate spoonbills, perhaps. Anyone who doesn't watch Game Changer is so confused, and I am so sorry. Yeah, she's asking mildly invasive questions, like about their cloacas and breeding stuff, and how Cat's character knows so much about birds and wants to apply this knowledge to these sapient bird people, which, yeah, that was uncomfortable. We're all adults, and this is a game with adult themes, so sex and stuff like that isn't really outside the realm of comfort. It was just weird for the character to do that with a stranger. The bird people didn't like that either, and it was quickly shut down when it was pointed out to Cat that this person might find it rude that they're being essentially likened to the animal he resembled. No incidents for a while after that, just a lot of silence and maybe plinking an enemy for 4 to 5 damage and constantly forgetting the animal companion that can do things in combat. A bit later, we're on a mission for the faction we joined. It involves leaving some blood in places to get an empathic mind link to spread around. We ended up joining the bad guys. The campaign was billed as one, but that was a distinct possibility. So we're doing that, smashing a vial here and there, and Kat gets a great idea. Kat finds a random homeless person on the streets and says, "I'll pay you some money to drink this blood." We were trying to be covert about this explicitly, and as we said multiple times, but Kat did not pay attention at all. This homeless person rightfully went, "What is wrong with you?" and refused to do that. Kat was confused as to why, and everyone else was like baffled why Kat would even try. Kat went back to quiet again and didn't do anything.
Yo, you want to inject some blood right in your veins? I'm not gonna tell you where I got it from, but it's...
I talked to the DM afterwards about how I don't like how poorly Kat is treating the game, and the DM agrees. We're both worried that bringing this up to Kat might make things awkward for their sibling, who is a really cool and great player. Kat was getting a bit disruptive, and neither me nor the DM liked the utter disregard for the DM's hard work, but mostly nothing was happening. A bit more stuff happens. Kat continues to not do much or be lightly disruptive, mostly disruptive by not paying attention and needing to be called upon to do any roles. Annoying, kind of disruptive. Most of the players don't like Kat at this point due to this. We're all participating, doing things, and she's just there, paying no attention at all. This eventually comes to a head in Kat's final session. It's a horror-themed session. We're entering the ruins of a city that belonged to our faction that got utterly wrecked. No survivors, aside from a few unhatched eggs. It's empty, dead, and viscerally creepy. Around every corner, it feels like there's something there. Some new abstract horror that we can't see. Everyone gets something specific during the session to set them more on edge, and it's a great game. Early on, we have to make some fortification saves because the area is just too dangerous to be in flat out. We all roll our saves except Kat. We call for Kat multiple times. No response, no roll, nothing. Kat's sibling doesn't even bother to check in with Kat at the time because we're too busy having fun.
Man, I'm glad you're having fun, because for me, it only takes one wrong vibe to ruin a good horror game.
We must move carefully through this place. The spirits here will not take kindly if we are spotted. They will surely tear our souls from our bodies and force us to remain here for all eternity. What? My tiny tower's putting on a fireworks display. I almost have enough bucks to buy a... What are you doing? Turn that off! Hey, what's that? No, you can do that later. Okay, yeah. My head's kind of starting to...
It's going great, and eventually the DM just stops asking for Kat to roll because Kat didn't respond whatsoever, and we wanted to get the session moving. Kat's the only one who doesn't get anything specific, which makes sense. Kat's character wouldn't have responded. The DM continues the session, and it ends with 2 party members nearly dying for failed rolls. Horrible situation, but we make it out with our information. Everyone's saying it was fun, genuinely scary. And for the first time, the whole game Kat speaks up. What do you mean it was scary? Nothing happened. Bro, it's giving... This movie was so bad. I mean, I was on my phone the whole time, and I wasn't watching it, but, like, it was so bad. I was viscerally upset. The DM was genuinely hurt by that and left the call. The rest of us followed and talked to the DM privately and expressed how outright furious I was by Kat's comment, and how utterly appalling the lack of respect was. DM and Kat had been having issues for a bit, and this was the final straw. Kat got completely removed from the server and campaign at that. It was a little awkward for a bit. Kat kept DMing us about how the campaign was going, and what's happening now, and when am I going to be let back in? And did in fact bother her sibling, which was unsurprising based on their behavior, since this sort of thing happened before. Kat's sibling hoped maybe this time they would act better, but, well... It sucked a lot, but the campaign is still going strong now after that, and the players have been enjoying it even more. The DM's having much more fun now that Kat isn't around. All around great time. Being inattentive is not the worst thing you can be at a TTRPG group, but it certainly is something that can ruin the vibe. As a DM, I struggle when a player is very obviously not paying attention. If I see someone on their phone at the table, if I see that they're playing video games in Discord, I mean... that bums me out. I'm working hard to create something enjoyable for everybody. And I understand I'm not always going to focus on every player and there's going to be boring moments, but someone going that much out of their way to distract themselves from a game that I worked on, a game they're supposed to be having fun in, that really sucks. I understand it's awkward when there's family stuff involved. I mean, Kat's siblings in the game, and that can be weird, but this thing needed to be addressed. I'm glad Kat's whole comment led to the falling out that it did, because if this continued on, the DM would have been burnt out much, much faster if Kat remained around. It just sucks if you feel like people aren't grateful for the work you put in. A lack of gratitude that Kat consistently showcased. Hiya Crispy, been binging your content since discovering your channel 6 months ago. I shared your videos with my high school friend the other day. We just started our second year of college, and I said to her, "Good thing we don't have any horror stories from any of our games, yeah?" And she responded, "You're joking, right?" And proceeded to remind me of a campaign from our last year of middle school that I deadass blocked from my memory until she jogged it. So yeah, this one comes from our collective memories of that game. Major creep warning. In middle school. Oh, this is gonna be great. Some backstory. We're both part of GSA in our middle school. I'm gay, she's trans, and we'll call her Lauren in this group. We all got introduced to Dungeons & Dragons by starting an LGBTQIA+ gaming group. The campaign we played was awesome. It was like a magical girl shoujo anime at a high school that was constantly getting attacked by magic creatures. If I pronounce shoujo wrong, I don't care! I'm kidding. Anyway, it was super fun and chaotic. We all love role-playing our OCs. Anyway, one of the kids we'll call Eli for this story. Eli was part of this club, not because he was queer, he was just neurodivergent, quiet, and felt more comfortable around us when compared to other groups. He was also a big lover of D&D and apparently learned that from his dad. We actually met both of his parents at a school event, and they seemed really awesome and chill. They had all sorts of questions about queer culture for us, like when I figured out I was gay or the spectrum of sexualities. I guess we felt comfortable since Eli's mom admitted she was bi, and they were just really chill about everything. They didn't trigger any red flags for us. Eventually, we got on the topic of D&D, which Eli's dad got excited to talk about. He hadn't played any D&D in like a decade, and Eli's mom had never played, period. We all tell them about our magical girl campaign, and they both love hearing about all the stuff our characters got up to in high school. I legit don't remember this, but Lauren said that Eli's mom even joked that she loved the idea of role-playing a hot young thing, which is obviously sus, but somehow I missed it. Then, the dad said that Eli's been wanting to DM his own campaign for a while now, which was news to us. Eli's always been really quiet about stuff, but he said it was true. We're all really having fun hanging out with the parents since they're speaking to us like equals, so Lauren suggested that Eli run his campaign with us, and Eli's parents are like, "Can we join too?" And everyone said yes.
Oh, come on. Is this gonna be some Kiddler Diddler crap? All right, I'm done. Stop! Crispy number 9, stay put. Okay. Okay, wait, were you in the closet the whole time? Well, I mean, I was, I mean, just the whole time we were recording, so, like, only about, like, 4 hours. Do you want me to get you a snack? Because I could totally, like, there's some goldfish.
Oh, for real? Yeah, that would be so great.
Oh, yeah, I got you, dude. Wait, hey! Stop right there! Worth a shot.
Fast forward, and we start session 0 at Eli's house. The setting he made was a sky pirate adventure. The house was really nice, but Lauren and I both remember a lot of wall art and decor having some pretty intimate themes. Like one painting in the bathroom I remember being tastefully cropped out was 2 naked people clearly going at it. Meanwhile, my mom getting so angry she's yelling at me in Tagalog that we need to clean every inch of our house before guests show up, because if we embarrass the family, we will be disgraced. Looking back, it should have been obvious, but we're pretty sure Eli's parents were swingers. No, I'm not looking that up. So we're all making our characters, and Eli's dad suggests we should all make our characters our actual ages, like how in anime it's always a group of teens looking cool and saving the world. The mom loves this idea, but she wants to play a bratty preteen elf. I end up making an archer paladin in her 20s. The dad goes with a grizzled, older tiefling monk who decides to act as the crew's mentor. The mom responds to this by calling him the crew's daddy, which makes him laugh. Eli is clearly embarrassed, but we all kind of laugh too. We're all used to kink jokes since we're like 13 and 14. Can't relate. But the flags on this airship are already crimson red. The campaign goes awesome for a couple sessions. Eli's actually an awesome TM, and the parents are definitely fun people. Problem is, they spend a lot of game time flirting with each other. Yeah, the preteen elf girl and the older tiefling. She keeps finding ways to sit in his lap all the time. When she causes trouble, like stealing from shopkeepers, the dad remarks she's being a bad girl, which again makes her giggle. The mood is officially uncomfortable. Lauren tells me at one point the mom decides to admit to her in private, just between us girls, that they roleplay as their characters during sex, thinking this is something to, like, laugh about. Lauren says she laughed, like she was wishing the house would collapse on both of them right there. Dude, same!
So that is in detail the minutia of how I have just complete, rough, flavorful sex. Can you stop? What? I don't think this is appropriate. What? Why? Mr. Disrespect, I'm 14 years old. Oh, come on, do you even know the legal definition of sexting? Because I know it in every little...
That's how it went with them. Like, they're super accepting and non-phobic with us, but they have no filter about anything. We get to the point where Eli is constantly telling them to stop during game time because it's creepy as hell. And after her elf calls him daddy again for like the 100th time, Eli just yells, "That's it, we're done, I'm done, no more game." His parents try to calm him down and claim they were just having fun, but nah, he's super done. And so are we. It was the craziest thing I ever had the displeasure to remember, and I wish I could block it all again, so I guess I owe you an apology for bringing you on this magical walk down cringe memory lane with me.
Do not be sorry.
Seriously, do not be sorry. I freaking love drama, man. It's great.
Needless to say, the campaign officially fell apart even without the parents. First time that ever happened with me. Eli honestly said he just didn't want to play with his parents anymore, and we were like, yeah, no problem. From that point on, we did all of our D&D at school. No parents. GSA kind of fell apart because the pandemic hit soon after, but we kept playing D&D with each other on Discord, and that was great. Eventually, Eli figured out he was ace, the biggest twist here, considering how freaking, crazy his parents are. Anyway, hope we didn't make your head explode with all this cringe. Based on your videos, I would hope you'd be used to it by now. Thanks again for all your great content, and give Crispy number 9 a break now and then, will you? I thought it was Crispy number 4 I was always killing. But anyway. Look, a lot of homophobes push the idea that being queer is all about sex and intimacy, and that's not true, especially since asexual people are queer, and a lot of us are definitely not about sex or intimacy, let me tell you. But beside that aspect of the harmful narrative, a lot of people also use that as an excuse to be really creepy around queer people. Like, look, we're not all comfortable with extremely explicit content, especially kids. These parents were way out of line. Just because these kids are queer does not mean you are okay to talk about the stuff with them. It is still definitely inappropriate to have these conversations with a minor. No way, dude. Look, sex and intimacy are a great part of life for a lot of people. Not me, but for a lot of people. And I'm not trying to hate on those things. But time and place. And this is not the time, nor is it the place. In terms of D&D stuff, this is a nightmare of a first game that can absolutely ruin DMing forever, especially for a young person. Most of us aren't going to have bad experiences this bad, but I'm glad Eli could see past this one experience and keep on DMing with a much better group. What's that? Oh, it's a wrap. If you guys enjoyed, then you might enjoy our last episode on an edgy atheist. It's linked up in the cards. It's a fun one. But before you go, please do leave a like on this one and subscribe to Crispy Tavern so you don't miss any of our content as it comes out. And finally, if you want to leave your own stories or thoughts, you can go down into the comments down below. If you can't think of a comment, leave the comment. Doesn't sound Christian, to let me know you made it to the end of the video. Hey, by the way, if you have your own horror stories, you can send them directly to us. There's an email down in the description down below. Send your stories our way for a chance to be featured in one of these videos. But hey, even if you don't have any stories, in essence, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Farewell.
Underestimate my size.